Okay, we're trying again. We're gonna get this. Okay. Sorry, you guys. It's so frustrating. Like we all three of us like know exactly what we're supposed to do. Like we all know we've done this and it just does not work. It's one of the most bizarre things. It's like someone is messing with us. Okay. So bizarre. Um, you're messing with me right now. I know you are. But you're about this quiet.
Oh, frick. Hold on.
I love that my husband's moving furniture right now. He's totally moving furniture. I can like hear him. Hello. So it is been the longest day ever, but like a good day. And so now he's vacuuming. Adrian, come back. Do I have to invite you again? I bet I can invite you again. I'm not getting any requests from you guys. It's got to be broken tonight. I feel like it's broken. It's just broken all around. Stop it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's fine. It's just quiet. But I can tell there's a lot of things broken with it because I'm not getting like I invited all four of your all the pages, and
I did one.
And it's I'm not getting your requests.
Oh, you're not? That's
Nope.
why I always comment.
Can you try and leave and come back though?
Yes, I did.
It's like so quiet. I don't know
did.
if we can do this. I can hardly hear you.
All right. And now how about that?
Same. Here, let's get Carrie in here.
Why does it mute every time I leave and come back?
I don't know. It's got to be broken.
Okay, let me turn my volume. I'm all the way up.
You know, it's funny. I just canceled my StreamYard too because I was like, I'm done paying for this. StreamYard's expensive.
It is expensive. That's like another thing I pay for, and I'm like, how do I turn that off?
I'm gonna try one more time and see if it'll let me like.
So when you went out and came back in, you couldn't just hit your mute button?
Nope, I could see it. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah,
it just doesn't do anything.
That is the
I
weirdest.
know you're here, Carrie, but it won't let me invite you.
Now, if she comments, can you
Yep.
click?
So it brings up her name, and normally at the top it says invite to broadcast. It doesn't say that.
That, didn't we have trouble with hers last time doing that?
Mm-hmm.
This is not good.
I'm gonna try. I wonder what this does. This button right here. See, I can hold on. I'm gonna try.
Hey, Lori.
Now it's perfect. Talk.
Oh, really? Yep. What'd you do?
Now it's perfect. It just worked that time. I could tell right away it was gonna work.
Okay, we'll try to get her. Did she comment? You can invite her.
Yep. It's not bringing up the option to add her. I feel like I'm like starting to snap. I feel like I'm getting mad at you. I'm getting mad at you. Yeah. I know. I'm getting mad at you. I don't think I've ever been mad at Adrian before. I'm like sweating.
Look what I bought. Look, it worked.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah.
Yes.
It finally worked. Like my.
Oh, thank goodness. Sorry about that. It's so stressful.
It only took 14 minutes.
I mean, that's not bad, really. And
this is for people that are committed to be here.
That's right.
I don't
want a house.
I'll just switch over fully to YouTube. I just can't.
Yeah, but I love YouTube, but only two of us can do a video together at the same time, unless we do StreamYard. No. We could do StreamYard. We could all do StreamYard, and then it goes to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, though I can't figure out how to do it. I have tried. It's very complicated.
Because, Carrie, just not to hijack the conversation, but like YouTube is like so amazing. Like it's like StreamYard, where you can like connect before you go live, and like it's like so
But it
awesome.
sends a link like in your text. So that way you're not waiting around wondering if someone's live too. I love.
Oh, I mean, I've heard that from you guys. As you know, have not made the leap over there. I love Substack. But
Yes.
Substack, I didn't notice lately, is glitchy because I had the option to go live there, and now my option is gone.
Well, and I'll tell you, I've went over the live over there maybe 5 times, and no one watches because you have to have the app. And most people that subscribe to our newsletter don't have the app. They're just reading a newsletter.
Right.
So I know there's like issues with all the platforms, but like this Facebook stuff's like really starting to get frustrating.
I feel like there's no perfect platform for me. And this is where my audience is. Facebook is like the audience I built.
Yeah.
Instagram, we've talked about this before. I have a nice little following over there, but my kids are all over there and their friends are all over there. And that makes it, they don't want to see me live over there. They barely want to see the reels that I put up because my reels I put up where my head is like this.
Uh-huh.
They're like, get your head out of the camera.
Yes. Yes.
So no perfect.
How many people, can you go live with other people on Substack?
One, I
One.
think. We haven't done it yet.
Mhm.
Yeah, one. My face is so pink. It's cold here, you
Oh.
guys. It snowed
Hi,
this
Mom.
morning.
Here's my
Your
mother.
mom's on. I love that your mom is on. I mean, that's so out of my, our parental's realm in this house. So
She's
Okay.
she's getting ready for me to go visit her tomorrow.
nice.
Yeah, Amos and I and the dog are flying tomorrow afternoon.
Nice. Is he out from school the rest of the week?
He's out half day Thursday. It's book character day, and he's out on Friday.
Oh,
Book
Mhm.
character
what?
day and Halloween generally stress me out, though he probably would have been good this year. But anyway,
Oh, so
he
you'll do
wanted to go.
Halloween there.
Well,
Do
I
you
was
get trick
planning
or
on
treat?
just. We don't usually have trick or treaters because we're not here to take them. We're always out trick or treating.
Ah, okay. Yep.
But we don't have as many at this house. Our old house, we had a gazillion. But this house, we don't. So
Where'd you
anyway.
so we always have someone come to our house, like grandma or grandpa, and hand out candy. This year it'll be Lauren, but this year we're doing full-size candy bars. And I'll tell you, because that's like my kids think that is like the most amazing thing. I think it's actually cheaper than buying the candy. Like I bought Sam's Club has these, they're called fundraising boxes, and you can get 55 full-size candy bars for like $30. And so I got 2 of those, and we won't get more than 80 trick-or-treaters. So I'm like, nailed it.
And when they take handfuls of the candy, like when you buy the fun size, they take like 4 or 5 each. Anyway, I saw my neighbor today and she'd gone to Costco. She's a full-size candy bar person. And she opened the trunk of her car and she had like boxes of all these full-size candy bars. Or soda. Somebody in our neighborhood gives a can of soda.
That's a good idea too.
We actually put a cooler out with waters, maybe beers for people to take all their trick or treating. But we won't get many.
Our
You hand out
dentist gives out toothbrushes.
Oh, Joe tried that one year, and our kids about moved out of the house.
I love it because I'm like, ooh, new toothbrushes.
No, but it's Kate, your family must be very excited. I love this time of year for little kids.
Yes, and we did but I'll tell you, it's a wee bit exasperating. So we did a trunk or treat on Sunday. We hosted one for the autism community here. But you know all the like fun little trinkets kids get, like it's like slinkies and fidgets and like all those little things. It's like erupted in our home. I know you get it, like, and it's just I'll be really overwhelmed. And then like I'm finding candy wrappers like stuffed in couches, like hidden.
It's like Christmas stockings.
Yes, it's just like that. And I try not to be like a curmudgeon.
It's a lot. I mean, we have pictures of my kids coming home. The big thing here is they go out with a group of friends, they come home and they pool all the candy and then they trade for hours.
Yeah.
And the pictures we have of all the I mean, I can't tell you how much candy they have.
Same here.
But then I don't really have candy kids. They kind of move on after a day or two and it just lingers and I get rid of it. Or you can send it overseas or you can, bring it places. But
I always hate to give it to other people because I hate to rot out their teeth.
Oh, funny.
You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to take it to the soup kitchen and just hurt those people.
well, right. You can send it to people stationed.
You two introduce yourself because we haven't been live on my page for a while, and then we have to do a hard push of Autism Out Loud, and then I have a topic.
Oh, okay. An agenda. Adrian, do you want to go first?
I'll go first. I'm Adrian. I live in North Carolina, and my husband and I have 4 people, 3 teenagers, and 1 person with autism who is almost 11, named Amos, and he is in a pretty much a traditional 4th grade classroom this year. He's so this has been, I would say, probably his best year of school so far.
Wow.
We are just in a good spot with medicine and a little more flexible. So,
Can you talk a little bit real quickly, Adrian, about the service dog thing you just did? Because it looks so.
So we have a service dog, and we've had her now. She's been with us, 3.5 years, and Amos and Honor got an award for the organization of called Paws for People. And actually, this coming up weekend, I'm going to be doing a little fundraiser for them because service dogs cost about 62,000, 60 to 70,000. But this organization, you don't pay that. They ask that you fundraise 10,000. So they're always trying to fundraise so more families get dogs. A lot of veterans, but yes. So Honor is a golden retriever outside barking because she wants in. And we've never flown, the 3 of us, without another. It's my husband's always flown when we've taken her
Oh, okay.
because monitoring Honor and Amos, I'm a little bit nervous, but I feel okay. I did TSA though. I didn't hear back, and Amos has gotten a new Lego suitcase for his early birthday present.
I love it.
So cool.
They
Wow,
like your suitcase.
What kind of chair is this?
Oh, he's making a chair. Yes. So I'm like, anyway, so that's exciting, but she's really good. She's helpful with him on the plane because they both wallow on the floor, basically the whole flight.
Did I see him, Adrian, in the video giving like he was bowing to the crowd?
Yes,
Oh,
he was bowing.
that was so sweet. I showed it to Joe. It was so
How
cute.
did he know how to bow?
Oh, funny. I guess I thought it was something you guys had talked about or something to do.
No, I don't think my other children have ever taken a bow. He must watch. He watches old stuff. Like he's been using the word lousy a lot. He must be like in the 80s. He he really wanted the microphone.
I saw that. Yeah.
He was like, "Is that the microphone?" And I was like, "Oh no, we're not getting into that."
What do you think
One of
he would have wanted to say? Like, what would he have said, do you think?
He probably would have been okay, but it just
Yeah,
it felt too risky.
Yeah.
It felt too risky.
yeah. I understand that deeply.
one of the young people in our autism group, her name is Abby. She's Cooper's age. She loves the microphone. And at like the Miracle League kickoff, she grabbed the mic and she takes off sprinting and she was singing like I Pledge Allegiance or like something to it. And she's mostly non-speaking. So it was like everyone was like, and her mom's like, she loves a mic.
And then maybe like get him like a karaoke machine for Christmas.
Oh, we had that.
Now,
we had the care.
remember you said if I got a dog, you wouldn't be my friend anymore, or if I had another baby, you wouldn't be my friend anymore. If you get a karaoke machine, I will not be your friend anymore because you will hate it.
I also told you something the other day. I said, if you do that, don't go complaining to me. What was it? It was this week.
I think it was today. It was something. Was it something with a dog?
Kate had some harebrained idea, and I was like, that's not going to turn out well.
I didn't hear.
I don't want.
I didn't hear what it was.
I can't remember.
You're not getting another dog.
Carrie, though, but we did address Adrian's memory loss. She brought it up today. She's like, do you think I have early onset Alzheimer's? And I was like,
not that bad.
I mean, not that bad.
No.
We're just here to help. If Thomas wants to reach out, like if he needs.
My husband is not a nurse.
It's
Mary Scott.
Ain't any Joe. He's not giving anybody the first bite of food. You're going to starve over here.
He's like real skinny. Got to eat for 6 months.
no, I never would have said Joe was like a caregiver, but I think I was telling Kate this, that he spends every Tuesday night now with his father, like spends the night there.
Oh, I didn't know.
So
that.
yeah, it's he just started it.
Oh.
You know, there's 6 of them, and so his father will be 91 soon, and and his mother passed away, and they rotate through who takes care of him, and they have the schedule and all of that, and so
That's so nice.
he goes over tonight. They'll watch the Yankee game, and he buckles them into the car if they go out for their dinner, and he takes his hearing aids in and out for him.
Aww.
And what's really endearing to me, you guys know, last week on our Autism Out Loud live, which was so much fun, we really dug into husbands a little bit, and Joe is not without his flaws. But what's beautiful is my boys are all the same way. Charlie went in and took his hearing aids out one night, and my oldest buckles him into the car, because my oldest, when he's home, will take him out for breakfast and things like that. So it's very endearing to see Joe in this new role.
Are you guys that close to him, distance
Yeah,
wise?
we moved here, and then they moved here shortly after. So he's less than 20 minutes away. And so his wife, my mother-in-law, passed away over 2.5 years ago. Every meal he puts out her picture in a frame. And so he can eat with her not restaurant meals, but every meal at home.
Oh gosh.
That I don't think Joe will be doing. I think he'll look over next to him and probably have somebody new sitting there. So
Scary. Like swaps
the live version, not a photo.
Okay.
What's that?
Do your intro.
Oh.
You didn't do it.
I'm Carrie. As I just said, I'm married to a man named Joe. He's a dentist. We have 5 kids. My oldest is 21. Can't believe it. My diagnosed son, Jack, is 20, lives in a supported community. Charlie's 18. He's been gone for 2 months in college. My daughter is 17, just committed to Notre Dame, which still blows all of our minds. And then my youngest son, Henry's 15, in driver's ed. And I have to go get him, and he's going to ask me to drive home. Oh, anybody that's had to teach a kid to drive, there's nothing like it.
Well, also, is it scarier at night? I imagine it being scarier at night.
It's scary all the time, but yes, but they need 10 hours of night driving by parent, and then the driver's ed person will do even more. So it's just all scary, but he is a delight. My youngest son, Henry, and I took him shoe shopping yesterday, size 15 shoe, wide. Like canoes. And yeah, so
he just started driver's ed. This is like brand new.
Brand new.
And
yes.
Now you said last week you don't drive with the children until they've driven with Joe for a while. Have you broken that rule?
I have broken that rule because I have such a soft spot for my youngest.
Your baby.
My baby. And I think because Joe's a little, just spread a little more thin lately with his father and work stuff and whatever, that he's just not as around. Now, Joe took him last Friday night. So we have a lot of back roads. They're paved, but they're smaller roads. They're good for a kid to start driving on. So Friday night they went out, and a dog ran right in front of the car. And Joe was like, stop the car. So Henry stopped, and then Henry goes, I think the dog is under the car. Like, how stressful. So Joe's like, hang on. He opened the car door, and this little French bulldog jumped in and was like kissing them and and belly rubs. Joe has it all on video. It's hysterical. She has a thing on her name was Frenchie. So they're going to the neighborhood, like, where does Frenchie live? Where does Frenchie? The neighbors are like, oh, Frenchie. She's going to get eaten by a bobcat. And they eventually found Frenchie's home. But when you were saying earlier about a dog, like I had a moment where I was like, go get Frenchie. Let's get another dog. But that was 10 minutes and I'm good now.
Can you imagine if you would have killed the dog just starting out driving? Because like I have a friend that when we were learning to killed a dog and like changed him. He like broke.
I think
I still
Pains me now as a seasoned, and Joe's like, it was not Henry's fault at all. The dog ran right out and was like standing there, and he's little. French bulldogs are tiny. No, I can't imagine that.
Do y'all have
So I,
do y'all have deer around there?
oh,
Hitting deer is a real, like, I've been hit by a deer twice.
I've hit many a deer. They've totaled many a car.
They've run into me, the side of the car.
Mm-hmm.
We also have turkeys, wild turkeys.
Ooh, that's
so
fun.
Oh, I call those, my mother calls them wild turkeys. Here they're called buzzards.
Buzzards. Well, we have a band of them, a band of like 20 to 22 of them that roam the neighborhood. So yesterday, Henry and I are driving home from the shoe store. He had to get sneakers, and they just clog up the road. And there's nothing you can do. Like, you wait till they go by.
Here, that's the geese. They will shut down freeways.
Oh, really?
With their little babies.
Yeah.
Carrie, so you can buy a size 15 shoe like at the shoe store. You don't have to order it.
Normally, I thought we would have to order it. This was like a specialty sneaker store because he's going to go on and do long distance track for the winter, and they had a 15. It was not the color the young boy wanted, or, you know, maybe not the style, but I was like, it fits, it's wide, it's comfortable, we're going with it. It's $180. No, maybe not that much, but
How big are Jack's feet?
he's a 16.
So you think Henry will be as tall as Jack?
I think Henry
I wonder.
will eclipse them all. He's over 6'3" right now at 15.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Russell has a really good friend that's 6'6.5", and he's 15. And he stayed with us this summer. He was like 6'5" then. And I was like, this is a very large person. I mean, but the parents are like 6'4" and the mother's like 6'3" or something.
Wow. You know, you don't realize it logistically when you're trying to get all these people into a vehicle. I can't fit my whole family into one of our vehicles right now.
Yeah, she said he can't sit like in the back of the plane. Like, he does not fit.
I bet.
I just met, so I went to Kentucky for the weekend, and I met, you both know Amanda Owen. She's like phenomenal advocate ever. She shares a lot about her brother who's 43. He has a chromosomal disorder. So I wanted to meet him because she's talked about him so much, how tall he is and his personality. And he's 6'1", 6'2". He came in and I was like, because she's like, we don't blend in. And Amanda Owen's this like little sprite. I mean, she's smaller than me. I'm 5'8". I bet she's 5'4", and he's like 6'2". Wow. He holds her hand the whole time. Like, he's always reaching for it, and like she holds it. But I had never met a 43-year-old like Cooper. Like, I had never met it. And it was just the most delightful experience, you guys, because like, I'll just funny story. He's a gossip. This is what they said. And he was there with us for half an hour. He's a gossip, and he loves sharing information and breaking information. So you could tell he was like excited about something, and he was waiting patiently. And then he goes, Amanda, Dad has skin cancer. And the mom's like, oh my God, why did you tell her that right now? And then he goes, and I got a Frosty from Wendy's. I was like dying, you guys. Like, we don't have verbal autism. So like, while it drives other people batty, I eat it.
Yeah.
I was like, tell me more. Tell me more.
And to him, it was like, if it's anything like Jack, like this diagnosis of his dad's and the Frosty were like right on par. Like, I have a gossip.
He's like in love with Amanda's sons. So she said this beautiful part, she's like growing up alongside this brother, is now she has sons who are 14 and 11, and they become his best friends. So they play like video games together. And she was saying, I just love this family. She was saying that like when grandma buys a video game, Black Ops 6, so when they left, they were going to the video game store to buy Black Ops 6 because it was just released, that she has to buy one for the grandsons too, because they play with him. Like, so Amanda's like, my sons are very opportunistic, but like they become best friends and they text, and she's like, my sons are so good with him. But she made a mistake and said one of the sons has a girlfriend, and he's like, what was that? Like, he was like this. He's like, well, like a girlfriend. And he was like so gossipy. And I just like had these visions of like Sawyer having kids and then being friends with Cooper. And it was just probably the most heartwarming thing that's happened to me. Like,
Oh,
Frosty.
I
that
know.
thing.
Yeah.
You know,
But like where I was going with that conversation is like, so when her son or when her brother was born, he was one of 11 that had this genetic disorder, and they did not blend in, and they don't blend in now. And he I'm like he's losing his teeth as part of his genetic disorder, and he's very tall and like shaped. He has diabetes, so very odd shape is probably how they would describe him with his weight, and it's like that has to be hard, not blending in that height.
mhm.
Mhm.
It's so funny because we were in where were we? Saratoga, New York for a crew race, and really weird, like coincidence, Charlie's roommate's parents happened to be there. So they walked up to us. We've only met them once. I know. I can't believe they spotted us or remembered us. But anyway, height comes up a lot. My daughter walks over. She's over 6'1". Like height is a big conversation around here. And so we said about Jack's height, he's 6'5". And Joe, this was the first time I heard Joe say this, but it's completely accurate. And he's like, and he's always in everybody's way. And that's exactly Jack. He's always where you want to be. And if we're in, like, we were standing on this big crowded bridge, and I thought, wow, if he was here right now, he cuts people off.
Yep.
Like,
He's Cooper.
being just the always against the grain of the crowd and always too close to somebody. Yeah. So Cooper's like that too?
Yes. So like I talk a lot about this with social norms. Like, you know how it's taught from daycare age to walk on the right, like down a hallway. I mean, that's just, and it's almost instinctual, right? Like you always just kind of go to the side. Cooper is like he's dancing right down the middle, and people will like part and like sigh at him or like, and so I feel like we're always kind of moving him. Like, we just went and got donuts on Sunday, our whole family. It was a big deal, and it was very crowded, and it was like he was in every person's way.
Yeah.
And he has no idea, like he doesn't have any
That-
idea.
That's why I got the yellow suitcase for the airport, because I was like, Amos loves to go the wrong way on like the walk. I call it the walkavator. So I'm like, at least people will see him coming.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
do you know the funny thing about the airport? So, and then I want to talk about the book, but the funny thing about the airport is, so that's my greatest fear. You guys know that. I talk about that, flying with Cooper. But we did this airport navigating MSP where we got to go to the airport, go through TSA, and pretend, get on a plane, pretend to fly, and then get off.
right.
The funniest thing, and Adrian, you might agree with this, is everyone at the airport is weird. Everyone stops walking in the middle of it. Everyone stops and looks at their phone. Everyone bends over and ties their shoe. Like, so you're constantly like this. He like blended right in. I'm serious.
Fine.
Oh, that's
Like,
good.
no one like thought it was, you get what I'm saying though? Like in other settings, like it's really noticeable. But like it's very normal to be walking at the airport and to have someone in front of you stop and like check their phone.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I think Jack's he's not very successful in airports. He's fine on the plane. He stims a lot. So picture this giant young man jumping and flicking and hopping in place. He draws a lot of attention to himself. And then
hear that with Jack. Yeah, and I totally 100% believe
oh,
you. I've just never seen it. So like, because like I have friends that their kids are like teenagers and they jump. I'm telling you, like, and jump. We don't have that. Does he like really moving?
he's moving. He can get himself really going like around the perimeter of a room, and he has no self-awareness. So it's like he doesn't, how do I put it? What am I thinking? Like no concept that he's disruptive or that people are perceiving him a certain way. He also can grunt quite a bit, and he's always picking at his face, or the glasses are off and on. He cleans his glasses probably 3 times an hour. But if you tell him to stop, he gets very defensive. What? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Meanwhile, like, do you guys do this though when you go into public places? I still do it. I start to scan anybody who might be walking with like crutches or in any way be at Jack's mercy when he's moving too fast.
And like the FBI, I know everything.
I really look out for babies. Like we were at the trampoline park and there was a baby and I was like, there's a baby, baby. You know, like the baby gonna get bounced away.
Yes.
Yeah. Mine is, and we haven't had this for a long time, but I am telling you he would push any wheelchair or stroller like whoosh. I mean, we have had incidents where I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah.
We have dear friends whose son is pretty severely, he's cerebral palsy, no speech. He's in a wheelchair. And when they first came to visit us the first time, and Jack's also bold, like you talked about social norms, like he doesn't think like, oh, maybe I shouldn't grab that wheelchair with that little boy in it and just start running around the yard.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
With little boy. So yeah, I'm always on the lookout.
Amos is real quick of if you look different, he is gonna pin you. He is on you like white on rice, and you can see the look on his face, like a very, very big person that was doing some swimming. He was like, "Ooh," it's like, "Do not shush me. That hurts my feelings. It is a sea monster."
I would die. I would die.
They have no poker face. One time, this is 100 years ago, we were in a Pizza Hut and I was nursing. So I was trying to keep myself private and Joe's like, trade seats with me. And I was like, no, if I trade seats with you, like I'm open to the entire restaurant. And he's like, trade seats with me now. Because the person that was facing Jack was missing an arm. And Joe's like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were the collateral damage.
Yes.
We brought we go to see Thomas the Train every year. It's about 2 hours from here. We go, you ride the train. It's pretty cheesy and adorable. And we've been going for 12 years. Like we'll be going for 12 more. And we always meet the Lindsays. So that's Dexter's family that I share about a lot. And so there's always 2 train times, and we unfortunately picked the second time. So the Lindsays had you know the story? They had rode earlier. So we get there and Dexter's like, and he has autism. He's Cooper's best friend. He's like, can I ride with you guys? And I was like, yeah, there's like 25 people here. It's like a full, I mean, who cares? Yeah. I'm like, but you are technically already used your tickets. Like, don't say anything, you know? So he gets on and we're walking on the train and he walks right up to the conductor and he's like, I don't have a ticket. And I'm like, oh, Dexter. And I'm like, he has a ticket. I mean, he has a ticket. And everyone has special needs. So like the conductor like just burst out laughing. And I was like, you threw me right under the bus. And he's like, I will not lie.
We used to get candy for the movies and put it in my purse. This is not my best quality. And we
It's
went
very expensive. Oh, drinks, candy, anything you can shove in there.
Jack said, we don't need your candy. My mother has it in her purse.
And what did they do?
It was some teenage kid who was, and I was like, he's so funny. I'll take 2 M&Ms and some Twizzlers.
Then you have to buy a double.
When we saw Oppenheimer, Henry convinced Charlie to take him to the grocery store first, and he had a huge blanket. He like rustled. I think he had ramen soup. Like he had like a Bunsen burner, like to cook.
Yeah. I told Adrian the most amazing story earlier. Should I tell it again about the bathroom?
What one was it?
How can you forget this story? First, I just told you, and it's the best story of all time.
I told you I've got cognitive issues.
Okay. Well, I brought her to pick up Winnie at daycare yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. And like, that's a big deal. It's newly that walk in and be quick and take $1 million home. So we walked in and I said, do you want to hug and wait? And he's like, yeah, I'll sit. He can't talk, but he's like, yeah, you know. So he sits down and I told the teacher that was in the room, I'm like, this is Cooper. He has autism. He's nonverbal. I'm like, can you tell me if he gets up and moves? She's like, yeah. And I literally just turned my back. And then I was talking to Winnie's teacher. And when I turned back, Cooper was not on the rug. And I looked at the teacher and I'm like, where did he go? And she's like, he's using the bathroom. The bathroom is wide open. It's like glass that like looks into the toddler bathroom. And I was like, no. And I turn and his pants are at his ankles and he's about to sit on the toilet. I like threw Winnie and I was like, oh my God. And I like ran in there and I like made a joke. I'm like, this is why we don't go to Menards, you know, like where they have toilets. and she was like, she was great about it.
Oh,
You're muted, Winnie, or Adrian, Winnie.
I said, tell her the size of the toilet.
Oh, the toilet was this big. I'm like, this is autism out loud. Like there is
100.
no blending in
But
ever.
I like your response. I like what you said about your response. You were like, you get nervous, so then you start telling everybody what's happened.
I walked out to the front desk. It's like a teacher there, and I'm like, well, Cooper peed in the cub room. Like I didn't have to tell anyone. I told like I was so embarrassed. I mean, Cooper's like this. Do.
Cucumber.
Nothing phases him. Okay, that's a really good transition. So everyone that's new or has been following us for a while, the three of us wrote a book, and I know it's backwards. I wish it wasn't. I wish I could like transpose it, but like the three of us wrote a book. Do one of you want to tell a little bit about the book, and then we'll tell the deal and try and get everyone to buy it?
Adrian, you, me.
You go ahead, Carrie.
So it's three mothers, three stories, three different autism profiles, and life with a child on the spectrum from diagnosis to young adulthood. And I think I was thinking about this today, you guys. It's so fascinating how we each only have one daughter.
It's so fast.
It's amazing. And how each of our kids are at a very different birth order, very different profiles, yet there's some really universal themes, right? Like grief, autism siblings, how you tell people, how you absorb the diagnosis. So I am a very big reader. I think you both are too. I read everything. And I've never come across a collaboration like this. I've read 2 author collaborations. I've never read 3 points of view on the same topic. And I think anybody who is alongside autism in any capacity, like a neighbor, a principal, a healthcare worker, a caregiver, grandparent, this will resonate with.
Yes, and so right now we partnered with a independent bookstore called bookshop.org. Can one of you share the link, or should we just do it after? So it's called bookshop.org, and they are offering a 15% discount on our book if you order is it by November 1st?
November 1st is what I just read, yeah.
Yep, so it's all pre-orders right now, and so I just want to just do a plug that if you have any intention of buying this book, and I know a lot of you do because you are invested in our stories and you want to support us and learn more. If you have any plans of reading this book and buying it, pre-ordering it right now, getting that discount and supporting us in that way is a super big deal. It tells the world that this book matters, and retailers listen up, and libraries and schools and people that would buy this book. News outlets listen up. So it's a really big deal to do pre-orders, and we would love for you to save that 15%.
Yeah.
And the code, so I'm not sure if Adrian's doing it, but I'll do it after. I'll put this in the comments after. So it's bookshop.org, and then you search Autism Out Loud, and the code is all caps, love booksellers. So love booksellers, and that gets you the discount.
Put it up right now.
You are awesome.
I had to go find it. Sorry.
Yeah, so our dream, and
Have it handy.
I can share our dream, or my dream. I won't speak for you guys. My dream is to make the New York Times bestseller list. I just want to so bad, and not even
Pin my
I don't
comment, Kate, will you?
I don't think it like it doesn't
just so people can, it doesn't get disappeared.
Got it.
Get disappeared.
For big multiple reasons it's amazing to make the New York Times bestseller list, but the big one is there's not a lot of books on autism that make it. Adrian, did you say you found one?
There's one.
No, I didn't even know that was one.
And what was it? Was it
it was the one
unique
where it looks like Legos coming out of somebody's brain.
Is it uniquely human? I have it over here.
Maybe.
I would have thought, if any, the reason I jump, because that's from the point of view.
Oh, maybe that, yeah.
But that's not puzzle pieces. That's not what that cover looks like.
You're talking about, but I can't think of the name. But it's just a really big deal, and I think it just shows that this story, the story of a person with autism, can resonate with so many. I think it's important.
Yeah, Yeah.
So
And those I think the common threads of motherhood and caregiving and, as my,
expectation.
yeah, my parents, Carrie's got a dad. She's lost her mother. You've got an older father-in-law. My father-in-law's 89. My parents are later 70s. Like caregiving is a topic there too. So there are going to be topics that transpose autism to me. Grief, or, Carrie talks about estrangement, or Kate, you're juggling four as the oldest. I'm juggling four with the youngest. I mean, it's really nice that you're walking away with three very similar but different stories. I think.
Mhm.
I got asked to do a book club today
Oh,
For
in
this book,
April. Yes, for our book in April. It's a group coming from Raleigh to Edenton. And I was like, go ahead and order it by November 1st because you'll get 15% off.
that's
So yes,
awesome.
I know.
I did that after Forever Boy came out. I hopped on quite a few virtual book clubs, and I'll tell you what was so fun about it
This
is
is in person. We're going to dinner.
well, that's cool. But I did virtual, and I was like in people's living rooms, like they were like gathered
Oh,
around the TV. I was like all over.
yeah. And I did one for you, didn't I?
go ahead.
Kate, I did book club, your Coops Troops book club
Yep,
for my other nice
and we
guy.
did Ray Hellman's book.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yep.
sometimes I don't keep my eye out. I also want to add that there's a little prescriptive material in this where it's sort of like, this is what worked for us, I especially, people for our part of the story, young adulthood in autism is very unexplored. It's so interesting because I'm doing reels now, right? And you know how when you go to do a hashtag and you're like, why is there only 100? When they show the number at the bottom of posts in that hashtag group, there's like 100 for autism in young adults. There's like
Mm.
200 for autism after high school.
Yeah.
There's 500 for peeling off, or 5 million for how to peel an avocado. You know what I mean? Like that, you can tell how little conversation there is around these really important topics. I cover guardianship, how we had to obtain that for our son, how we found his program. And for me, like just the other day, somebody reached out and said to me, I have a son like Jack, and because I saw Jack go to this program, we let our son go further than we ever would have imagined. It really touched, and
Mhm.
is thriving.
Mm.
So I like having people see a piece of themselves inside of our story.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
I have a really quick one. I want to just do this topic real quick if we have time. I have a excuse me, one more time. So I came across this post today on Instagram that just threw me into an absolute tizzy. And I mean, I'm telling you, this is the angriest I've ever been online. And so I want to read it's like this is it right here. I just wrote it down, so I just want to read it to you. And my reaction may not be right. So I just want to get your reaction to this post. And for context, it's written by a young therapist who I'm going to guess has been a therapist for maybe 5 minutes. And so what makes me concerned is I'm seeing this trend of like being an influencer in this space. So here's what it says. Autism is not a spectrum in the sense of varying intensity, but rather an identity that one possesses or does not. It's also not defined by levels of mild or severe. It exists as a unique way of experiencing and interacting with the world.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Guys, I called Jamie and I was like screaming. I was like, can you, and I have goosebumps, and I'm gonna let you guys talk. I want you guys just to talk. I can read it again if you need me to. But like, can you imagine like someone not knowing anything about autism and they're like, well, it's just a unique way of experiencing the world. It's just a beautiful identity. And then and then meet Cooper, and then they're like, what's wrong with that guy? And so I'll just keep in. So sorry.
I think it's a disservice. And we talk in the book even about high functioning, which is what Jack would fall under. But it is a disservice. To me, the idea of an identity is something they chose for themselves.
That's all my people said. No one chooses disability.
You chose this. Yeah, it is a disability under the CDC. It's a disability. You know, for me, it falls under, and we've talked about this, that whole autism is a gift. It's nearly monstrous to say that. Does Jack have gifts as a result of autism? Of course. Does he have gifts because he's an interesting, great human? Of course. A disability, you would never walk up to somebody with diabetes or in a wheelchair and be like, this is just your identity. You're choosing to move about the world this way. It's outrageous.
It is such a disservice.
Yeah.
Like,
You're going to have to send me that post because I'm going to have to handle that.
Oh,
I
no.
cannot take that. The idea that a therapist wrote it, like I find I get highly annoyed, and this could be wrong, but there's, and when you said an influencer or content creator in the space, there's this mother, and I know who it is because you and I have shared, and the child might as well be Blair, my typical 15-year-old.
yeah,
The child is like, you know, in the head of the school play, captain of the soccer team, like an artist. I mean, like the most amazing child on the planet. And she's like, in her autism, I'm like, oh my God, no, you're not allowed to take up precious space. And you're using up space, and it's a limited amount of space. I just,
It glamorizes
it's
it.
gross.
And you're making autism glamorous.
yes. And that's where I think I got so frustrated. So now, like, imagine, think of the mom in the trenches, right? The mom that's like dealing with aggression, or dad, aggression, self-injuring, their kid's not sleeping. And they go to this therapist and they're like, you got to help me. I can't do it anymore. And that happens. We've been there, right? I cannot do this anymore. And can you imagine this therapist being like, well, it's not a spectrum. No, it's an identity. Your child's just experiencing the world. Like, I would be like, get out of here. Like, this like sent me over the edge.
Yeah.
It's gaslighting. It's a form of gaslighting I covered today because I'm fascinated by gaslighting. But that is a very unique form of gaslighting in the ability sphere of trying to alter somebody's reality.
Yeah.
To suit.
Yeah, like if you're the person that you're at the school and you've been called and you're going to pick up someone at 11 a.m. from work, and I think we've all been in those places, like that is not feeling identity. I mean, that is, you, no.
I mean, we went through periods where they had to evacuate the classrooms, and I would
Yes, and the word evacuate, when you hear the word
Yeah.
evacuate, it like makes you feel physically
it,
ill.
Connection to your child.
Yeah, I mean, like
Like,
it's not a hurricane.
I can think of them walking us in with walkie-talkies. Like, the Swensons are here,
Yes.
and like we get
Yes.
there, and it's like, can you imagine, like, this is not a gift. Cooper doesn't choose this. Cooper is not proud of this. Cooper is hurting and struggling, and so is everyone else. And I think this is a real problem. And then the other thing I want to touch on, because I think that this comes up, and I want to just say this for my own self. I'm not saying that Asperger's or higher functioning autism is easy. You will never hear me say that, because you want to know why? We're not dealing with bullying. I'll never have to deal with suicidal thoughts. I'll never have to deal with sexual or not sexual. Like, see, like, so it's like, I think it's really important to say, like, people get kind of prickly when it's like Cooper has severe autism. I'm not saying that like our life is harder than yours. It's all hard. This isn't helping anyone.
Mm-mm.
This isn't helping anyone on the spectrum, I don't think.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's interesting.
the book, we talk a lot about the deficits that Jack is high functioning. No, it's not the same as what you both face every day, but I also have him out in the world, and I have to think.
This.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's out there independently.
Yeah.
So you're monitoring that, and Kate and I are
He
not.
got
Yep.
a car. People. He also knows he is this and others are this.
And we have no concept
None
of
here.
autism. None.
So just, yeah, I mean, I think it's all like you said, we all have our
Before we hop off, I ask you, so I have a friend whose son it would be Asperger's if it was diagnosed back then. And he says he hates his autism. What would Jack call it, a gift? Like, what would Jack say?
No. Jack has said he doesn't like it. He doesn't like that it's in him. We went through a phase where he sort of used it, right? Like, I have my autism. I can't bring the garbage out or silly. No,
Jack.
and I can tell for sure. I have the funny story by him. I can
What
tell
is it?
for sure that he doesn't like it because he doesn't share it often. He'll say, "Oh, they don't. Oh, Kate and Adrian don't know about my autism."
Like
Or
you
the
said when he got his job, you were like,
God,
they don't know I have autism. Don't bring it up.
And then we went there, and they're like, "Mhm."
I love it. I love it.
You
But
know how he, oh, go ahead.
What was the funny story you said you had?
Well, it's funny and endearing. He's the community ambassador. He tried out 3 times for this role.
Yes.
At his supported space, bringing to mind the movie Rudy.
Uh-huh.
I actually actively dislike the movie Rudy, and I know that's not popular opinion. But at some point, somebody should have said to that kid, "This is not for you. Find something else." As somebody who lives with like maybe a Rudy, you know what I mean? Not an athlete, but anyway, he finally got the part. Well, Henry, before bed last night, he says to me, "Mom, Jack's organizing a movie outing with the kids at his school to this, I don't know what it's called, this incredibly gory, grotesque Halloween movie where people are apparently like throwing up when they watch."
I yes. Okay.
So I shouldn't have done this, but I text him. I'm like, "Jack, maybe you should rethink such and such movie. Like, this is the feedback I'm getting all night long. What have I done? Why did I do that? What if they don't? How can I not do that? Maybe I'll go by myself. Maybe till finally I'm like, do not disturb."
He just is it persever?
Hyper fixates, and he wants so badly to do well at this role. So today, but he's getting himself to solutions, which is beautiful. Today he texted me, the woman that helps out with, like, the staff member's name is Sarah, and he said, "I scheduled a meeting with her and we're going to let everybody know what reactions people are having to this movie." So that's like huge steps forward for him.
That is
People vote? Are you allowed to make suggestions like that? Like give people 3 choices?
That's the thing we have to steer him to. So Jack struggles greatly with theory of mind, the idea that other people have opinions and thoughts that are different than your own.
I would say
He's egocentric.
Once you learn that, you can look around the world and be like, a lot of people struggle with theory of mind, but Jack's is magnified. But all of this is great baby steps forward. They also don't have to go to the movie. Nobody's like forced to go see it.
Right.
But part of like, Jack, why would you go and sit? He's very unaffected by imagery. I don't know if your boys are the same. Things that would gross you out or scare you, he's very unaffected by that.
Amos is scared. He does not like anything like violent.
Oh, that's actually a great quality. Jack doesn't. He's almost disconnected from the movie, even though he goes to them.
Huh.
that's so interesting. I wonder if Cooper, he doesn't like anger or frustration, or he feels real bad. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if he's ever seen anything scary.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
not in the way that Jack goes. Oh my gosh, we had a couple weeks ago, you could see the Northern Lights up here in New England. Charlie sent to our group chat this like beautiful shot of the Northern Lights. And Jack wrote, "Did you know you could get a Big Mac made with chicken?" And Charlie writes, "I guess it's the same thing." And Jack writes, "It is."
That's just like Dad has skin cancer and I got a Frosty. Like, it's like the same thing. It's all the same,
And follows it up with, "I didn't get one because I'm out of budget now."
Oh no! Can we Venmo? Let's Venmo.
He's learning about where
And Joe's like,
let's send Jack like a bunch of like gift cards.
Fun money.
"You don't have the
Okay, let's hop off because I want to go on my supporter page for 15 minutes. So if
Okay.
you're watching, we're going to go on my supporter page. It was pinned. Come join us.
right."
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.